This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. Welcome to the Ravens Rundown as the Baltimore Ravens wrap up their last 2 days of training camp practice before they head to Green Bay for joint practices and their final preseason game on Saturday. Coach Harbaugh said the practices this week are focused on two things. Of course, getting ready for Green Bay, but also looking ahead to week 1 as they kick off the NFL season on a Thursday against the Kansas City Chiefs. In addition to that, we did hear from Coach Harbaugh about the starting offensive line. That's been a question all training camp. And so far, there hasn't been a decisive answer. And Coach Harbaugh, once again, he said he's not ready to make that decision and that the game against Green Bay will be very important in that decision-making process, as well as finalizing some of these other roster spots. We also got an update on Mark Andrews, who was in a car accident last week. Coach Harbaugh said he's okay and he will travel to Green Bay with the team. He also said that the mindset of both teams is going to be really important to making the most out of these joint practices. Here's more from Coach Harbaugh.
The mindset of the two teams is the most important thing. If both teams come in with the same idea, that they're two good football teams are trying to take advantage of the opportunity to practice against another good football team and get a good football practice in, that's what you want. If a team's coming in like they're trying to prove something, some junior high thing, then it's usually not good. So we're excited to go against Green Bay. We think they're that kind of a group, a good football team, right there, almost in the AFC Championship game, proven team. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to go practice against those guys.
Someone else who is looking forward to joint practices is quarterback Lamar Jackson. He has not taken a snap in the preseason, which is not unusual. Most of the starters have not. That's something that Coach Harbaugh has done for the past couple of years. But he's looking forward to the competitiveness and seeing his teammates against another team, especially that first team offense. Here's what Lamar Jackson had to say about competing in Green Bay.
Some competitiveness, just not going against my guys each and every day, finally get to go against someone else, and especially that I'm not playing preseason. Just great to see how we are against other opponents.
Lamar Jackson also had a solid practice with his receivers, particularly Rashad Bateman, who's been in and out of training camp, nursing a rib injury, but he was a full participant, and Lamar Jackson connected with him on a 65-plus yard pass downfield that Bateman successfully hauled in, but they connected a couple of times today, so they continue to work on that chemistry. He also had a really nice pass to Isaiah Likely, which they've been on fire all training camp as well. But we've talked to Lamar a lot about his receivers, especially Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. But I asked him about his relationship with Nelson Aguilar, because if we remember from last season, it was really him and Nelson Aguilar who had some very early season success, and we're continuing to see them get closer as this season ramps up. Here's what Lamar Jackson had to say about Aguilar, who he refers to as Big Bro.
Just speak a little bit on how your relationship with Nelson Aguilar has progressed. Like, you spent some time in the offseason working together. See you constantly communicating at practice. So what do you think you guys can do this year?
Man, we're going to be better than last year. I felt like our chemistry last year was pretty good as well. But that's just all my receivers. I'm always trying to get our chemistry down. Tight ends, running backs, it don't matter, because those guys who are out there with me, so it don't really matter. But Nelly, he big bro, so just trying to get a little knowledge from him and stuff like that.
One other point I want to make before the Ravens get into their joint practices is on that offensive line, we did see Nick Samick take some first team reps, and John Harbaugh, he has some nice words as it relates to Samick. This is the first time that I've seen Samick take those first team reps. Don't want to read into it too much because roster cuts are coming up, so maybe they want to get a better look at him. But either way, it is something to keep an eye on in the preseason game on Saturday against Green Bay. This is Carita Parks. That has been your Ravens Rundown. Be sure to follow Bowie TV for all your Ravens content at Bowie TV Sports on all platforms.